Now we have a green light.
All right, Joe Vitale here. Welcome to part 2 in our teleseminar series called Money Beyond Belief. And I overheard a few people talking before we actually got started, and they've already had some major shifts taking place from the other day. I overheard somebody say they were unemployed for 2 years, and all of a sudden after last Wednesday's call, our first in this 2-part series, she was being called back to work out of the blue, out of nowhere, totally unexpectedly. And there's some other stories that are circulating, and I think at some point when we put up a website, it'll be at moneybeyondbelief.com. We'll have to put the stories there and all the ones that we're accumulating. So that was only after one call, and I know personally I'm looking forward to this because a lot of things came up for me, Brad, and I think that they probably did for a lot of other people, which is one reason that I want to point out that we have to, I don't know if we have to, but we are invited to repeatedly listen to these calls. We're recording them so that people can go back and replay them. But I think other things may come up for us, as we clear one thing, something else that was, hiding underneath it may bubble up.
Absolutely.
For example, for me in just the past couple days, I had a lot of bills come in, which are no big deal. I mean, I got the money, I'll pay for them and everything. But I noticed that I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable about it. And I was wondering, now what's going on here? And I think as we've been clearing beliefs, some deeper ones surface that are my opportunity to clear them now. So they were just kind of standing up and saying, we're next.
Yeah.
So I think that this is kind of a message for all of us, no matter where you're at, no matter what took place for you after the first part of the teleseminars series here on Money Beyond Belief, that we want to go back and continuously listen to the recordings, but more importantly, tap away anything and everything that comes up as it comes up. I mean, am I on track there, Brad? Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree. Any issue that we have tends to have different aspects to it, and so each time we go through and tap through it again, and this is what I've said with my e-tappings, the electronic audio tappings that I have online already, is that when you can listen to it over and over again, and different issues will come up. EFT works like peeling the layers of an onion. So each time you clear something, something deeper gets brought up. I mean, it often happens that the time that you tap through it, everything gets cleared. Certain issues will be cleared. EFT always works, but a lot of times it'll bring up other issues. And you can go back and listen to the same recording. Even though the first time through you've cleared specific things, it'll bring up something else to be cleared as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we're doing that. I'm glad that we're recording this. I'm inviting everybody, once the recordings are done, to go back and listen to all of this. But more importantly, as anything comes up, to use what you're learning to release it, to clear it. That's what this is all about. And the whole point is to clear the things that are in the way of you having, doing, and being what you really want. In this case, we're specifically focused on money. We want money beyond belief. That's what this is all about. So we've done part 1, Brad, and we're going to do part 2 tonight. And just like the other day, I'm basically putting myself in your hands, so is everybody else. So I'm just going to step aside, give you the mics, and say, the show's yours.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Joe. And fortunately, you're not so much in my hands as something bigger than me. I'm very blessed in the work that I do that I'm guided. So once I get started tapping, I never know what's coming up because there's a greater intelligence than mine that's working through me. So while I certainly enjoy all the compliments that I have basked in, my ego comes out of it because it's not me. So let's see where we go today. As I mentioned the other day, on Wednesday we were talking about limiting beliefs about money, those beliefs that we've held on to, that money wasn't good, that people who had money were greedy, and all these limiting things that made us think that money was not okay to have because we didn't want to be bad people, so we didn't want to have it. And the ideal is that a lot of that got cleared on Wednesday. So today, we're going to turn the focus in on ourselves, which is why I expect today to be even more powerful. There's a lot of beliefs that we have about ourselves in terms of money. Even if we thought that money was absolutely wonderful and we thought the world of people who were rich, there might be beliefs that we have about ourselves that say why we can't have it. I'm not deserving. I don't work hard enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm too lazy. And these are lies. They're just beliefs. They're things that we decided about ourselves years ago based on some traumatic incident, or maybe it wasn't even that traumatic. But we're carrying on living our lives based on decisions that we made as small children. Now, most of us wouldn't make too many decisions in our life nowadays based on the advice of a very small child. And yet, that's how most of us are living. We're going about with these ideas that we decided upon at a very young age. For those of you who are not on the call Wednesday and have not had a chance to view the website, I'm going to quickly review the tapping points so that you have some familiarity with it. I'm not going to give the whole lecture about EFT and the history and the foundation of it. That can all be found on my website at bradyyates.net, www.bradyates.net. And you can find out all the basic information about EFT and see the points. If you have a computer up, you can even go to that and see the picture of the tapping points, but I'm going to review them right now. The first point we'll tap is on the side of the hand. If you were going to karate chop somebody, that's the edge of the hand that you would hit them with. Geez, how funny that I should use a violent image while doing this. Okay. Beyond that, the knife edge of the hand just below the pinky, between the pinky and the wrist, and you'll be tapping with two fingers of the opposite hand, and generally we do the tapping with our dominant hand. And you can do either hand and either side of the body because the meridians that we're using run up and down both sides of the body. This is the energy that flows through us that gets disrupted when we have a negative emotion or a negative limiting belief. So we'll be tapping first on the side of the hand, and that'll be through the first part of what I call the setup of EFT. And then when we start the actual tapping, the first point we're going to tap is the eyebrow point, and that's right there at the beginning of the eyebrow, closest into the middle of the face. The next point will be the side of the eye, right on the edge of the eye socket, on the outside edge of the eye. The next point will be under the eye, and this is on top of the cheekbone, right again at the edge of the eye socket, directly under the middle of the eye. The next point will be right under the nose. And someone needs to mute themselves, sorry. The next point is the collarbone point. I'm sorry, under the nose, then under the mouth, right between the lower lip and the chin. Then the collarbone point. And the easiest way to get the collarbone point is to feel with your fingers right now and find your collarbones and feel in towards the middle. And you'll find that little U shape right in between where the collarbones come together. Make a fist or an open hand and tap over that area so that you tap over the top of both ends of the collarbone. And that tends to be a very key point for a lot of people. The next point is under the arm. That's about 4 inches down from the armpit. And the best way to do this is to use all 4 fingers to get a larger area right under there. And then the last point we're going to tap is on the top of your head. And this is right about where someone would wear a beanie cap or a yarmulke. And just take all 5 fingers and tap around in a circle at the top of your head. There are other points in EFT. On my website you'll see finger points. There are other practitioners who use the wrists and inside the ankles. And there are tons of meridian points on the body that can be tapped. With basic EFT, these are the points that we're going to be tapping on. So with that being said, the first one I want to go into is what tends to be the most crucial limiting belief for people on almost any issue they have. And I've worked with a couple of clients today already on this issue. And this is the belief that I am not worthy, or I am not good enough, or I'm not deserving. And it tends to hit a lot of people in a lot of different areas of their life, but particularly around money. So what I'm going to have you do is repeat after me. I'll tell you what point to tap on, and then I'll give you the words to repeat. And the more you repeat them with enthusiasm, the better. If during the tapping emotions come up, because as Joe said, things get cleared and other things come up, and sometimes the emotions that come up are more troubling than what we thought we were experiencing already, my recommendation to you is to keep tapping and clearing it. Keep doing the clearing work. So tapping on the side of the hand, even though I don't think I'm deserving,
Even though I don't think
I'm deserving.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Completely love and accept myself.
I'm going to throw in one more instruction here. When you're working with EFT, one of the best ways to find out how it's working for you is to get a level on what kind of discomfort you're experiencing. So one of the ways to do this is if you're experiencing a physical pain, for instance, when I say, I'm not deserving, and I have you say that, and say that out loud right now, I'm not deserving. Notice when you say, I'm not deserving, what kind of discomfort comes up. If you have a feeling of, yes, that's definitely true, and on a scale of 0 to 10, how true is it? Also notice if there's a physical discomfort that comes up. You may feel a tightness in some part of your body, or a sense of nausea in your stomach. And rate the level of discomfort, so that as we go through the tapping, you can see how the SUDS level, subjective units of discomfort, you can see how that comes down, and you can see that the relief is happening. So, again, tapping the side of the hand, even though I'm not deserving, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm not deserving, I deeply and completely love and forgive myself. Even though I'm not deserving, and I have this desire to have a lot of money, to have money beyond belief. There's a part of me that says, you don't deserve that. You can't have that abundance. Who are you to ask for abundance? Who are you to ask for a lot of money? Who are you to think you can have a lot of money? You've already got more than you deserve. There may be a part of me that's saying, you don't deserve what you've already got. And now that you've asked for more, I'm going to cause you to lose more. That part of me is scared. And that part of me has some old belief that I'm not deserving. And what I choose to know is that that's rubbish. If I wasn't deserving, I wouldn't be here. The universe did not make a mistake by creating me. And the universe has unlimited abundance. And I am just as welcome to it. And just as deserving of it as anyone else. So I choose to release this idea that I am not worthy and deserving. And I choose to acknowledge the truth. That I am absolutely worthy and deserving of money beyond belief. Tapping the eyebrow. And even though I don't think I'm deserving, I deeply and completely love and forgive and accept myself. And anyone else who has ever given me that idea and made me question my worthiness, they were doing the best they could. Eyebrow point. This thought that I'm not worthy. Side of the eye. I don't deserve a lot of money. Under the eye. I don't deserve a lot of money. Under the nose. I don't deserve a lot of money. Under the mouth. I don't deserve a lot of money. Collarbone. I'm not sure I deserve what I've got. Under the arm. I don't feel deserving. Top of the head. Chances are, eyebrow point, years ago, side of the eye, maybe when I was a small child, under the eye, maybe even as an infant. I don't know, something happened on the mouth, and I made it mean something about me. Collarbone, I made a decision under the arm that I wasn't worthy. Top of the head, that I wasn't deserving. Eyebrow point, maybe I saw things. Side of the eye, like my family not having much money. Under the eye. And so I made the decision, on the nose, that people in my family, on the mouth, didn't deserve money. Collarbone, my family doesn't deserve money. Under the arm, maybe I let that mean something. Top of the head, about an even larger group. Eyebrow point, my whole family. Side of the eye, my whole race. Under the eye, every member of my religion. On the nose, who knows who I thought that about? On the mouth, maybe I decided. The collarbone, that nobody deserves a lot of money. Under the arm, no one deserves a lot of money. Top of the head, least of all me. Eyebrow point, I am so undeserving. Side of the eye, and as undeserving as everybody else is, under the eye, I'm even less deserving. On the nose, I am the most undeserving person. On the mouth, on the face of the planet. Collarbone, how dare I ask for more? Under the arm, how dare I think I could have more? Top of the head, chances are, eyebrow point, as undeserving as everyone may be. Side of the eye, they deserve it more than I do. On the eye, I can't ask for more money. On the nose, someone else deserves it more. On the mouth, maybe everyone deserves it more. Collarbone, maybe I can see. On the arm, that this is rubbish. Top of the head, I'm a child of the universe. Eyebrow point, the universe has unlimited abundance. Side of the eye, the truth is, on the eye, there's more than enough. On the nose, and I am just as deserving as anyone. On the mouth, what I choose to see, collarbone, is that we're all deserving. Under the arm, everyone is equally deserving. Top of the head, people may behave in a way, eyebrow point, that doesn't attract abundance. Side of the eye, I choose to not be one of them. On the eye, but as long as I think, on the nose, that I don't deserve abundance, on the mouth, it's not likely to show up. Collarbone, anytime something good comes to me. On the arm, I look at the universe, top of the head, and say, oh, you shouldn't have. Eyebrow points, you really shouldn't have. Side of the eye, I'm not deserving of this. On the eye, and the universe listens to me. On the nose, and gives it to someone who's welcome to it. On the mouth, somebody who will allow it. Collarbone, the abundance is there for me. On the arm, it's got my name on it. Top of the head, because I deserve it. Eyebrow point, but I'm not allowing it. Side of the eye, because of this old belief, on the eye, that I don't deserve it. On the nose, I'm so undeserving.
I am so undeserving.
On the mouth, I'm not worthy.
I'm not worthy.
Collarbone, I'm not worthy of all the good that's there for me.
I'm not worthy of all the good that's there for me.
Under the arm, and the more I tap,
The more I tap,
top of the head, and the more I say it,
the more I say it,
eyebrow point, the more ridiculous it sounds.
the more ridiculous it sounds.
Side of the eye, and I'll tap again and again.
I'll tap again and again.
Under the eye, until I recognize,
Until I recognize
I don't know, just how silly a statement it is.
just how silly a statement it is.
On the mouth, that I'm not deserving of money.
That I'm not deserving of money.
Collarbone, how could I not be?
How could I not be?
Under the arm, I've got other beliefs about myself.
I've got other beliefs about myself.
Top of the head, about why I don't have money.
About why I don't have money.
Eyebrow point. And I'll tap on those too.
I'll tap on those too.
Side of the eye. But inherently,
But inherently,
under the eye, as a child of the universe,
as a child of the universe,
I was born worthy and deserving.
I was born worthy and deserving.
Under the mouth, I was born worthy and deserving of abundance.
I was born worthy and deserving of abundance.
Collarbone. And as far as the universe is concerned,
And as far as the universe is concerned,
under the arm, that's never changed.
that's never changed.
Top of the head, only my decision about that.
Only my decision about that.
Eyebrow point. I'm letting go of that decision.
I'm letting go of that decision.
Side of the eye, this old idea that I'm not worthy.
This old idea that I'm not worthy.
I don't know, this old lie that I don't deserve money.
This old lie that I don't deserve money.
I don't know, this old lie
This old lie
on the mouth that I only deserve so much.
I only deserve so much.
Collarbone, I deserve as much as I can get.
I deserve as much as I can get.
On the arm, and since the universe is unlimited,
And since the universe is unlimited,
top of the head, as far as the universe is concerned,
as far as the universe is concerned,
eyebrow point, there's no limit to what I can have.
there is no limit to what I have.
Side of the eye, if I want to be a trillionaire,
I want to be a millionaire.
on the eye, the truth is,
Truth is,
I don't know, that's okay with the universe.
that's okay with the universe.
On the mouth, the universe would be happy to deliver.
The universe would be happy to deliver.
Collarbone, because the universe knows,
The universe knows
under the arm, that I am worthy and deserving.
that I am worthy and deserving.
Top of the head, I am worthy and deserving of all abundance.
I am worthy and deserving of all abundance.
Eyebrow point, I know that I'm worthy and deserving.
I know that I'm worthy and deserving.
So yeah, I feel it in every part of me.
I feel it in every part of me.
Yeah, it feels good.
It feels good.
I don't know, it feels great.
It feels great.
On the mouth, knowing that I'm worthy and deserving of great wealth.
Knowing that I'm worthy and deserving of great
Collarbone.
wealth.
Collarbone, and as I acknowledge that,
And as I acknowledge that,
under the arm, it feels good for the universe too.
it feels good for the universe too.
Top of that, joyfully and gratefully acknowledging my worthiness.
Joyfully and gratefully acknowledging my worthiness.
And take a deep breath. And just check in with yourself and see how you're feeling. And ask yourself if it wouldn't help to start each day reminding yourself like that. That you are worthy and deserving of all good things that can come that day. And since the universe has unlimited abundance, it is fine with the universe for you to attract great wealth each and every day. Because the universe knows that you are worthy and deserving. As a creation of the universe, how could you be any less? And the funny thing is, we'll come up with a lot of excuses, and we'll tap on some of those. But most of the excuses came up later in life from decisions that we made about ourselves that have nothing to do with our inherent worthiness that was there when we were born.
Brad,
Yes, sir.
that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Very freeing, very cleansing, very liberating, very empowering. That was very, very beautiful. I have a question for you,
Yes, sir.
and this is going to be useful to everybody listening at some point, because I know the question will come up for them at some point if it isn't already there. when you do this and you guide us through this releasing, we begin with a belief, a thought. And in this particular one, it was about deservingness. But as you lead us through the process of tapping and releasing, you come up with a lot of other phrases that are tangent. They're almost like branches to that beginning tree thought.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we're doing this on our own, how do we come up with those? Can we just use one belief we're trying to release and just go through it a few times? Or what's your Cliff Notes education on how to do this on our own once we're off the call?
Yeah, excellent question. And this is why I first came up with e-tappings, because people often say to me, well, I don't know what words to say.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know what words to say either. As I said, this is a very intuitive thing for me, and this has happened to me over the years. And I've been doing EFT for several years now. And the basic form of EFT...
I'm going to mute myself so you can answer. And
okay.
Noise won't be there.
Okay. The basic EFT is you just take the belief of, say, I'm not worthy, and you would tap on the side of the hand, even though I'm not worthy, I deeply and completely accept myself. And you would repeat that 3 times, and then tap each of the points, this belief that I'm not worthy, this belief that I'm not worthy, this belief that I'm not worthy. And that's going to clear a lot. Now, when I'm going through it, I just start to get ideas of things that contribute to that belief, and sometimes it's totally off on another tangent because I'm picking up some kind of information. And again, that's just an intuitive thing that has built as I've allowed myself to get out of the way. So it just takes practice. But you can do a lot with EFT with just using the basic words, just the basic technical framework of EFT, of tapping on the points, can be very freeing as you balance out your energy in terms of what's going on. So do not be afraid to use it, even though you think, I don't know how to come up with these words. Okay? And so let's go to another belief about ourselves. Side of the hand, and this is very much like the worthy and deserving, but it's a slightly different take on it. Side of the hand. Even though I'm not good enough,
Even though I'm not good enough,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm not good enough to get money,
Even though I'm not good enough to get money,
I deeply and completely love and forgive myself. Even though I'm not good enough to get a lot of money,
Even though I'm not good enough to get a lot of money,
I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not old enough, I'm too short, I'm too tall. I am so intent upon this that I can come up with a million excuses about why I'm not good enough to have money. And what really ticks me off is that I can go around and I can see people who are shorter than I am, or taller than I am, or less pretty than I am, or less smart than I am, and they've got lots of money. Who the hell do they think they are? Oh, it's so aggravating. Because years ago, I made a decision that I wasn't good enough to get lots of money, among other good things. And being a human being, I love to be right. I'd rather be right than happy. So there have been plenty of opportunities in life to get good stuff, like lots of money. But I have proven myself right.
I have proven myself right.
About not being good enough to have money.
About not being good enough to have money.
And the funny thing is,
The
the money didn't care.
money didn't care.
The universe didn't care.
The universe didn't care.
The only one saying
The only one saying
that I wasn't good enough
that I wasn't good enough
was me.
was me.
So I choose to knock that off now.
I choose to knock that off now.
I am plenty good enough
I am plenty good enough
to have lots of money.
to have lots of money.
And even though I've had this belief
Even though I've had this belief
that I'm not good enough to have lots of money,
that I'm not good enough to have lots of money,
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and forgive and accept myself
love and forgive and accept myself
and anyone in my past
and anyone in my past
who may have supported this belief.
who may have supported this belief.
They were just as mistaken as I was.
They were just as mistaken as I was.
Eyebrow point. This idea that I'm not good enough.
The idea that I'm not good enough.
Side of the eye, I'm not good enough to have lots of money.
I'm not good enough to have lots of money.
On the eye, I'm not good enough to have lots of money.
I'm not good enough to have lots of money.
On the nose, I'm not good enough to have lots of money.
I'm not good enough to have lots of money.
On the mouth, I'm not smart enough.
I'm not smart enough.
Collarbone, I don't work hard enough.
I don't work hard enough.
Under the arm, I'm not talented enough.
I'm not talented enough.
Top of the head, I'm not nice enough.
I'm not nice enough.
Eyebrow point, because only nice people get money.
Only nice people get money.
Side of the eye, truth is,
The truth is,
on the eye, money doesn't care.
money doesn't care.
On the nose, it's just energy.
It's just energy.
On the mouth, it'll show up in the hands,
It'll show up in hand.
collarbone, of anyone who's open to it.
Anyone who's open to it.
On the arm, it doesn't matter how nice they are.
Doesn't matter how nice they are.
Top of the head, it doesn't matter how tall they are.
Doesn't matter how tall they are.
Eyebrow point, it doesn't matter how pretty they are.
Doesn't matter how pretty they are.
Side of the eye, the truth is,
Is
on the eye, there's lots of people
there's lots of people
on the nose with lots of money
with lots of money
on the mouth who aren't as good as I am,
who aren't as good as I am.
collarbone, based on my judgments
Based on my judgment.
under the arm. But money knows,
Money knows
top of the head, that they are plenty good enough.
they're pretty good enough.
Eyebrow point, money knows,
Money knows
side of the eye, that I am plenty good enough. Under the eye, there are lots of people out there,
there are lots of people out there
under those who could look at me,
who could look at me
on the mouth, and say,
and say,
collarbone, you are plenty good enough to have lots of money.
you are plenty good enough to have lots of money.
Under the arm, it's even possible,
It's even possible
top of the head, that people have said that to me.
that people have said that to me.
Eyebrow point, but I made a decision.
But I made a decision
Side of the eye, years ago,
years ago.
under the eye, for some reason or another,
For some reason or another.
under those, maybe for a lot of reasons,
Maybe for a lot of reasons.
on the mouth, that I wasn't good enough,
That I wasn't good enough
collarbone, to have lots of money.
to have lots of money.
Under the arm, I may have decided I was too lazy.
I may have decided I was too lazy.
Top of the head, maybe a parent told me that.
Maybe a parent told me that.
Eyebrow point, and I decided they were right.
And I decided they were right.
Side of the eye, and I've gone to great lengths
And I tried great lengths
under the eye to prove that I was lazy.
to prove that I was lazy.
Under those, I have worked really hard
I worked really hard
on the mouth at being lazy.
at being lazy.
Collarbone doesn't make much sense on the arm, but that's how my mind's been working. Top of the head, I have worked overtime.
I have worked overtime
Eyebrow point, to prove that I'm right.
to prove that I'm right.
Side of the eye, that I'm not good enough.
That I'm not good enough.
Under the eye, what a wasted effort.
What a wasted effort.
Under the nose, because the truth is,
The truth is,
on the mouth, I'm plenty good enough.
I am plenty good enough.
Collarbone, I have God-given gifts and talents.
I have given talent.
Under the arm, and they have value.
They have value.
Top of the head, they are good.
They are good.
Eyebrow point, I am good.
I am good.
Side of the eye, I am more than good enough.
I am more than good enough.
Under the eye, to be worthy of a great deal of money.
To be worthy of a great deal of money.
On the nose, I've tried so hard.
I've tried so hard.
On the mouth, to prove that I'm right.
To prove that I am right.
Collarbone, about not being good enough.
About not being enough.
Under the arm, sometimes. Top of the head, the way that I've sabotaged myself.
The way that I've sabotaged myself.
Eyebrow point has been very obvious.
Has been very obvious.
Side of the eye, sometimes. Under the eye, I've unconsciously created circumstances. On the nose, where I come out at the end. On the mouth, and I say to myself. Collarbone, see, I wasn't good enough. On the arm, I'm right again. Top of the head, I'm not happy. Eyebrow point, but at least I'm right. Side of the eye, there's only one problem. Under the eye, I'm neither. Under the nose, not only am I not happy. On the mouth, I'm not even right. Collarbone, I'm not right about not being good enough. Under the arm, I was born good enough. Top of the head, there are plenty of people out there. Eyebrow point, with apparent deficiencies. Side of the eye, with perceived handicaps. Under the eye, who have no belief. On the nose, that they aren't good enough. On the mouth, and they allow great abundance. Collarbone, this idea. Under the arm, that I'm not good enough. Top of the head is just a belief. Eyebrow point, as false. Side of the eye, as the old belief. Under the eye, that the world is flat. On the nose, I got news for myself. I don't know. The world is round. Collarbone, and I am more than good enough. Under the arm, the only person who's ever really believed it. Top of the head, that I wasn't good enough. Eyebrow point was me. Side of the eye, and if anyone else. Under the eye, like a parent or a teacher. On the nose, had this belief about me. On the mouth, they were mistaken. Collarbone, and they're welcome to their belief. On the arm, because their belief. Top of the head, has no more power in my life. Eyebrow point, money doesn't care what other people think. Side of the eye, it only cares what I think. On the eye, if I say I'm not good enough for it. On the nose, it'll keep its distance. On the mouth, isn't that nice of money? Collarbone, how considerate. On the arm, if I accept the truth. Top of the head, that I was born good enough. Eyebrow point, I am welcome to all the money I can get. Side of the eye, and God only knows what that limit is. Under the eye, or if there even is one. On the nose, I choose to know. On the mouth, that I am good enough. Collarbone, letting go of that old decision. Under the arm, knowing that I am good enough. Top of the head, knowing it so deeply. Eyebrow point, that I unconsciously. Side of the eye, create circumstances. Under the eye, to prove myself right. On the nose, and then I get to be right. On the mouth, and happy. Collarbone, it's a win-win situation. Under the arm. I love win-win situations.
Win-win situations.
Top of the head. Truth is, eyebrow point, it's a win-win-win situation. Side of the eye, because as I win, under the eye, other people win. Under the nose, as I acknowledge my worthiness, under the mouth, I give other people permission to do the same. Collarbone, if I say I'm not good enough, under the arm, I'm likely to say that to other people too. Top of that, I'm likely to think that other people aren't good enough. Eyebrow point, I've probably done that. So I've probably looked at rich people in the media. Under the eye, and said they're not good enough to have money. Under the nose. Begrudge not. Under the mouth, lest ye be begrudged. Collarbone. I choose not to begrudge anyone their wealth. Under the arm, I choose to know. Top of the head, that they are good enough. Eyebrow point, and there's plenty for them. Side of the eye, and that doesn't take away from me. Under the eye, because I'm good enough. Under the nose, and there's plenty for me. On the mouth, and I can look at everyone else. Collarbone, and I can say with a smile on my face. On the arm, you too are good enough. Top of it, and there's more than enough for all of us. Eyebrow point, I am good enough to have lots of money. Side of the eye, I have enough talent. Under the eye, as far as the universe is concerned, under the nose, I'm pretty enough. Under the mouth, I'm just the right size. Collarbone, I'm just the right height. Under the arm, I'm just the right age. Top of the head, I'm good enough today. Eyebrow point, I'll be good enough tomorrow. Side of the eye, in fact, I'm more than good enough. Under the eye, the truth is, on those, I always have been. On the mouth, and I always will be. And even though I have some anger, under the arm, at people who said otherwise, top of that, people who told me I wasn't good enough. Eyebrow point, I choose to recognize. Side of the eye, that came from their own pain. Under the eye, their own limiting beliefs. Under the nose, because I know. Under the mouth, that as I acknowledge that I'm good enough. Collarbone, I can tell other people. Under the arm, that they're good enough. Top of the head, anyone who ever told me. Eyebrow point, that I wasn't good enough. Side of the eye, only said that. Under the eye, because they were afraid they weren't good enough. Under the nose, they were afraid they weren't good enough. Under the mouth, I have all this anger about that. Collarbone, but I'm releasing it now. Under the arm, I'm releasing the power they had over me. Top of the head, forgiving them. Eyebrow point, and forgiving myself. Side of the eye, for ever having believed them. On the eye, I forgive myself. On the nose, for this low opinion I had of myself. On the mouth, and I deserve that forgiveness. Collarbone, because darn it, I'm good enough. On the eye, I am more than good enough. Top of the head, joyfully and gratefully acknowledging that I'm more than good enough.
Joyfully and gratefully acknowledging that I am more than good enough.
And take a deep breath. check in with yourself again. See how you're feeling about yourself and about whether or not you're good enough to have money. Psst, the answer is yes, you are. If there's thoughts or comments or questions about that, let me know.
I have a thought, question, comment. First of all, I heard somebody giggle when you said that we deserve money or we can allow it. And I thought that was a nice little confirmation. They were like a little kid taking in a new programming and welcoming it.
Yeah.
Comment for me is we are quickly running out of time, and we want to honor everybody's schedules. So we know that they can listen to these again because we are recording them. We will put them up at moneybeyondbelief.com. What about some list of beliefs to help people have things to tap on? I know in my book, The Attractor Factor, there's some beliefs on page 105 and there's some beliefs on page 109 that people can use to get going. But do you have some on BradYeitts.net or somewhere else that you suggest?
Yeah, I don't have a list specifically on my website. And very often,
even some you can list now.
And like you just mentioned, the list that you have in Attractor Factor is great. There's some great limiting beliefs in there. Any of the thoughts that you have, when you ask yourself, if I'm good enough to have money, how do you feel about yourself in terms of money? Chances are that anyone will come up with a certain list of, I'm not smart enough to handle it. I don't know how to keep it. Things like I'm lazy, some of the things that I've already mentioned, I tried to cover a lot of those in there. So we all have basic beliefs like that, and as you go through, one of the great things about EFT is shift happens. So as you're tapping on, I'm not good enough, chances are that for some of you, some other thoughts came up about what excuses you've given as to why you're not good enough. And they're just excuses. There's no truth to them whatsoever, except to the extent that you keep trying to prove them. So as you tap through, you can take the very basic language of I'm not good enough, or any limiting belief that you can identify quickly and easily about money, and tap on that, and just pay attention. And the other thoughts will come up, and they may become conscious, or you might just clear them without even knowing what they are. You'll just feel lighter. You'll have that giddiness. Very often, as I said earlier in one of the rounds of tapping, as you tap through some of these limiting beliefs, they just start to sound funny. Some of the things that I've tapped with on people that they had felt were traumatic for 40 years maybe, they now look and go, it's kind of funny now. It's just funny to say about myself because they are silly. They're comedies. It's what Gary Craig always uses that expression. He goes, they're just comedies about ourselves. And we get to the point where we laugh at them.
I also know from personal experience, when you release these beliefs, sometimes you forget them entirely, like they are gone from your memory. You can't even remember what the beliefs were. They are just totally released. They're no longer information or even entertainment. They're just gone.
Yep. There's no recall about it at all. It's just as though it completely deleted from your memory system.
Well, let me ask you a different kind of question. This is spontaneous here, so it may be appropriate or not, but let's go with it.
Absolutely.
How do you recognize a belief?
How do you recognize a belief? Well, this could be a whole doctorate.
I was just going to say that. There's like a whole book, a dissertation at least. I'm going to get another doctorate in this whole thesis on how do you recognize a belief. Well, it just came to mind. I think what I'm looking for the purposes of this call is I've noticed that a lot of people, myself included, will in conversation be saying something that is ultimately a belief, and even a limiting one and a negative one, but not recognize it in that moment. So what I think I'm asking is, how do we recognize the limiting belief so that we can tap it away?
Yeah, and one of the ways is to be very conscious of your language. It's always amazing to me, and this is with myself as well, but I tend to catch it in others more easily, which is always true about ourselves. The things that we say, and you might, if you have a spouse or a good friend or someone, ask them to be your partner in this and to listen to you. And when you make comments like, yeah, that never happens for me. Or things like that. We throw these beliefs out there all the time, and each time we do it, we make them more firm. We give more energy to that belief. And any kind of limiting belief about ourselves, they're statements that we make about ourselves. You know, I never win the lottery. I never get lucky in this. I never get the right job. Good things never happen to me. And we won't necessarily, you know, have this list of these are my beliefs about myself, and there it is, number 3. But it'll come up in our languaging, and if you pay attention, and it's especially helpful if you can get somebody else to say, hey, you just did it again. Just did what? Well, you just made that limiting comment about yourself. You just made it. For a long time, for me, it was self-deprecating humor. I thought I was so funny making jokes at my expense, and it was very clear. It's like I'm just voicing limiting beliefs about myself, but trying to be very clever and witty about it.
One thing that I've done, and I mentioned it in the Attractor Factor, but it's worth highlighting for a moment, is whenever something happens and I give it meaning. How do I explain it? Whenever something happens and I suddenly feel unhappy about it, and unhappiness can be in any form. It could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be irritation, it could be impatience, any of those emotions that are other than just smiling and being happy and being neutral about it. So when something takes place and my trigger happens and suddenly I'm impatient or I'm whatever it happens to be, I ask myself, what does this event mean to me?
Absolutely.
Because I then voice, at least in my own head, what I think the belief is.
Yeah.
You know, a common one is if somebody gets a flat tire, they could say, something bad always happens to me.
Right.
There's your belief.
Absolutely. It's what it means about you, exactly.
Yeah, it's yours and yours alone. Other people may have the belief, or it may have some other people that will share in it. But what we're looking for are yours, just as I'm looking for my own. When we find it, that's the thing we want to tap on.
Yeah, anything that upsets you is because you're making it mean something about you. And very often it will be supporting something that you already believe about yourself. And human beings are amazing at this. Something can happen that has nothing to do with us. And and we'll have a negative belief about ourselves and go, see, look at that. It just supports what I knew about myself already. It's like, this means nothing about you. It has no meaning about you whatsoever. So we can trying to catch ourselves doing that. Whenever you're upset about something, look at what the meaning is. Because human beings are meaning-making machines. We always make it mean something about us. And that meaning is the limiting belief that we have about ourselves.
Beautiful.
So, and I wanted to comment quickly on something, a question that someone had asked about timing. For some of the folks on the line, things have been happening really quickly. And for others, it's not going to happen quite as quickly. And the question is that a question of there's more to clear, or is it just a matter of God's delays or not God's denials? Hit star 6, please. There you go. So God's delays are not God's denials. Sometimes God's timing is a little bit different. Very often, what it is, if things aren't showing up, it just means there's more to clear. And that's not something to get upset about yourselves for. It's not a question of, oh, geez, I'm not rich yet. I obviously have more wrong with me. I have to do more tapping. My thought about that is to say, that's interesting. There's still something I haven't cleared yet. I'll get back to work on it. Just find it interesting. It's all a process. We're all a work in progress. So.
That's great. I know there's a lot of information at your site, BradYeitz.net, and so that can be a resource. Where do we go from here? Because we're down to the wire here, Brad.
Well, I'd like to close out with a quick guided imagery like I did on Wednesday.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And after that, you folks know how to get Joe's book, Attractor Factor, which has a lot of great information about this, and just using EFT to continue as that step 3, the clearing process. And again, there's a lot of information on EFT, how to do it, and very soon we will have Money Beyond Belief up, and these recordings will be available. And feel free to ask me questions. Send me an email. And as you have your success stories, please let us know.
Definitely.
So, what I'd like to do is have everyone close your eyes, get yourself comfortable, take a big deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. take another big deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. And a third big deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Just allowing your eyes to remain closed. Allowing yourself to get more and more comfortable, more and more relaxed. And with each breath you take in, I'd like you to imagine that you're breathing in relaxation and positive energy. And you might imagine a healing light surrounding you. And with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. So that if there's any discomfort remaining, anything that hasn't been tapped away, just allowing that healing light to flow to that part of the body and soothe it and heal it, cleansing and relaxing, as that relaxation flows over the top of your head and down over your face, down over your neck and through your shoulders, down your arms and through your fingertips. Healing energy, relaxation flowing down over your chest and your stomach, your upper and your lower back, allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you're in, and otherwise relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to maintain your optimal level of health. As that relaxation flows through the hips, down through your thighs, over the knees, down through your lower legs and your ankles and into your feet, and finally that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going twice as deep with each number as I count backwards. 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Now, each and every time you hear me say the words deep sleep, with your permission, and only with your permission, you allow yourself to return to this depth or even deeper, quickly, soundly, deeply, and the physical body relaxes, and with that relaxation comes that wonderful sense of calm well-being of both body and mind. Deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is again deep sleep. And now just allowing your mind to take you on an imaginary journey to some beautiful place in nature. It could be the beach or the mountains, the woods, some place where you have a great sense of safety, a great sense of comfort, a great sense of well-being, and an ability to look around at the abundance of the universe. Looking around and seeing all kinds of examples of abundance, even if it's simply an abundance of blue sky, and recognizing that everything around you is energy, and moving forward in this beautiful place, walking forward, feeling comfortable, feeling strong, moving forward, because you have one direction in life from this point on, and that is always forward. Limiting beliefs that we have tapped on and cleared are cleared for good. They are in the past now. These old ideas that held you back from the wealth that you deserve are in the past, left in the past, and you are now moving forward towards an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, and happiness, which you so richly deserve. And walking forward in this beautiful place and looking around and seeing all the signs of abundance. And as I mentioned, these are all forms of energy. Everything is energy. You are a part of the energy. You are a part of the abundance all around you. There is unlimited abundance. There is an unlimited amount of energy all around you, and anything you could want is created out of this energy by focusing your thoughts on that which you wish to create and being clear about it, having cleared your beliefs about why you couldn't have it, being clear on the fact that you can have it, that you are good enough, that you are deserving, just allowing it to manifest in your life. And money is the same as anything else. It's energy. Money doesn't care who you are or what you look like, or how hard you work, or any of that. Money is energy, and you are energy, and you are welcome to an abundance of energy in all its forms, of whatever you choose. Moving forward, and in your mind, in this beautiful place, just in your mind, saying in this beautiful place, I am worthy and deserving. Saying, I am good enough. And just know that. Allow that to feel good through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your being. Knowing that you are indeed good enough, more than good enough, to have extreme wealth, to have money beyond belief. You are more than worthy and deserving. You are as deserving as anyone else on the planet. And as you recognize that about yourself, you have a greater and greater ability to recognize that in others. The several hundred people that are on the call today, just knowing that we are all equally worthy and deserving of great wealth, of as much wealth as we choose. Whether it's $1 million or $1 trillion or $1 zillion or whatever it is, there is great abundance, and you are worthy and deserving of it, and acknowledging that. And just finding that as you recognize that about yourself, you see that in others, and what a wonderful gift that is to others. So you're doing yourself a favor, you're doing the world a favor. Focusing only on the sound of my voice and the words that I'm saying, and just going even deeper and feeling very strongly and very secure in the knowledge, knowing at a very deep level that you are worthy and deserving, that you are more than good enough. In fact, at your highest self, at the very core of your being, you have always known this. And allowing yourself to clear away all the stuff that's covered that up, so that you know and feel clear on the truth that you are worthy and deserving of great abundance of health, wealth, and happiness. And allow yourself to feel grateful for that. Feeling grateful for the knowledge and grateful for the truth that you are worthy and deserving. And allowing yourself to already start to feel grateful for all the abundance that is flowing to you. And now, going even deeper, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'm going to count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling better than before, feeling magnificent, knowing that you are attracting more money because you are allowing it, because you've cleared away limiting beliefs about it and yourself. Feeling wonderful. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your subconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream, healing some past limiting belief about yourself, something that has blocked your abundance of health, wealth, and happiness. Clearing that out so that you once again become aware of the truth. Because once you're in harmony again with the truth that you are worthy and deserving and that you are a magnificent child of the universe. So that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, feeling even better than the day before. Moving powerfully forward towards that ever greater abundance of health, wealth, and happiness which you so richly deserve. And now I go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all these positive thoughts and images at a very deep level. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed, breathing in relaxation and positive energy with every breath you take. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your being. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide, wide awake. And welcome back.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Okay, so we're all clear on the concept now. We are worthy and deserving.
And ready for money beyond belief.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Joe, and thank you, everybody, for making this this call. It would not be a call with just me on the line. And
hey, Bрэd, can you unmute it for a second? I want to hear what people can give a big roar or a big thank you or a big I'm ready for money beyond.
This conference has
141
other callers present.
Thank you.
Presentation mode is on. Only organizers can be heard. Conversation mode is on. Everyone can now be heard.
There we go. There we go.
Now there's some energy we can work with.
Q&A mode is on. Participants may now unmute themselves.
Okay. That was nice.
Wow.
Bрэd, thank you, and thank everybody. Thanks for the people recording. Thanks for the people who called in.
Thank you and Bрэd.
And you guys
appreciate it.
have an absolutely magnificent weekend. You deserve it.
And expect money beyond belief.